this can't be a 6 or 7-year-old girl in a doll. This is something demonic, or this is something nefarious.
Any fan of horror movies or stories about paranormal phenomena is likely already familiar with the story of Ed and Lorraine Warren. These two ghost hunters are considered some of the most well-known figures in this field. They dealt with numerous cases involving anything from ghosts to demons and all sorts of other unusual events. In addition to their extensive archive of paranormal phenomena, their history over the years has inspired the creation of many movies, and in their honor, a small museum was even established, housing a plethora of strange and occult items related to their research and discoveries. Artifacts from many of their cases can be found in this museum, and many people believe it to be one of the most significant places for enthusiasts of the paranormal. Some even claim that this building is one of the most haunted places in the world. In today's video, we will explore some of the most important parts of the occult memorabilia collection of Ed and Lorraine Warren. Have you ever encountered paranormal phenomena or ghosts? Let us know in the comments. Death pearls is one of the lesser-known artifacts in the Warrens Museum that hasn't appeared in any of the known movies. These are the death pearls. With a name like that, it's quite obvious that one should not take these pearls lightly, and they should not be approached with a casual attitude. It is said that throughout its owner's history, there have been several instances where this pearl necklace suddenly tried to escape their grasp, often becoming so tight that the victims struggled to breathe and nearly choked. The last owner also told the Warrens that she often felt like the pearls were trying to strangle her in various situations. Clearly recognizing the danger, she handed over the necklace to the Warrens for safekeeping. Since then, the pearls have been securely stored in the Occult Museum, and I hope that if the stories about the necklace are true, it will no longer have the opportunity to inflict a painful and cruel death on its owner. Cult satanic figure. Worshipping Satan is something you often only see in movies, but it does happen in the real world. Terrifying and downright horrifying situations don't necessarily have to take place in a church building. They happen around us, whether we realize it or not. Rituals and traditions of devil worship are as old as Christianity itself, and they have subsequently led to various historical periods, such as the infamous witch hunts that occurred worldwide. When a hunter stumbled upon a strange figure in the woods of Connecticut, he was convinced he had found the memorabilia left behind by a group of Satanists. It was fitting that soon after, he encountered a man in a dark cloak who wanted the figure returned. With its deformed figure and blue eyes that seem to follow you no matter where you go, the figure likely holds great significance for some satanic rituals. The devilish horns on its head confirm this once more. Eventually, the hunter informed the Warrens of his discovery, and they retrieved the figure and placed it in their museum. As eerie as it may be, this figure complements the other strange artifacts the Warrens have been collecting for many years. Shadow Doll. Anyone who has seen the movie, The Conjuring, is likely familiar with the infamous Shadow Doll. While it plays a secondary role in the narratives, it also holds significance in real history. Although the Annabelle doll may not appear capable of causing significant harm at first glance, the Shadow Doll possesses a chilling aura that permeates its surroundings. The dark presence is felt by all who approach it. This may also be linked to the dark abilities that some believe the doll possesses. Primarily, it can intrude into the subconscious and dreams of individuals. Here, the Shadow Doll haunts its victims. Allegedly, it paralyzes them with fear within their own minds, depriving them of the sole chance to escape from the darkness of the real world. There's no doubt that this doll is incredibly dangerous, and it's fortunate that it has no chance to showcase its skills, as it remains locked in a display case at the Warrens Horror Museum. Genuine human skull. The use of actual human body parts, especially in rituals associated with witchcraft, demons, and Satanism, is of paramount importance. Many rituals call for blood, often the blood of virgins. And while this might sound like something out of fairy tales, there have been instances in the real world where organs, blood, or human body parts have been offered to the Dark Lord. Such rituals often require the sacrifice of a human skull to complete the ritual, Therefore, it's no surprise that the Warrens encountered genuine human remains in such rituals many times during their investigations. The Warrens Museum also includes various skulls and other human remains that they collected during their research into places where dark rituals were performed. If the stories can be verified, they are shared and put on display for all to see. However, in many cases, it's unclear how the individuals behind these occult objects came to possess them or what dark purposes they served in rituals. Stone from Borley Rectory. What may seem like a simple brick from an old house at first glance is, in fact, yet another testament to how deeply the Warrens delved into the realm of ghosts and rituals conducted worldwide. The stone, reportedly once part of Borley Rectory, perfectly fits this theme. The rectory in England stood for many years before eventually being demolished, becoming known as the most haunted place in the world. It was said to be inhabited by numerous poltergeists and demons that took residence within its walls. Today, Borley Rectory no longer exists, and many of its stories have been cast into doubt through further investigations. Nonetheless, it serves as a haunting reminder of a house that perhaps played a significant role in paranormal history. It's fitting that a single stone can tell the story of this building in the Warrens Museum. The Perron family music box. While the Shadow Doll has a role in the movie, The Conjuring, fans, in particular, should remember one of the starting points of this story. A child from the Perron family discovered a small music box that appeared to be an antique. Although the box played a significant role early in the film, it quickly became clear that it was a home for a demon. The eerie music emanating from the box set the tone for the rest of the movie. With a ghost purportedly residing within this music box, which was supposedly owned by a child who killed their own mother, it played a smaller role as the plot developed. As the Warrens delved deeper into the story, they were convinced that a true ghost inhabited the box. The music box has become one of the most popular exhibits in the museum, sending shivers down the spine of anyone passing by. The authenticity of this music box has been questioned many times over the years, but the Warrens maintain their conclusion that there is indeed a ghost in the box. Fortunately, it can no longer cause harm as long as it remains within its glass case in the museum. Toy monkey. Toy monkeys might have been invented as harmless children's playthings, but let's agree, they can be quite eerie. Another figure that played a prominent role in movies is the toy monkey. The toy, which claps two cymbals together and can be wound up to make noise, was a clear sign in films that something ominous was about to happen. The real-life counterpart of this toy is considered one of the many cursed objects that can be found in the Warrens Museum. Among all the items in the museum, this monkey is regarded as one of the most frequently visited and dangerous objects in the world, and this assertion undoubtedly speaks volumes. Looking at all the other items in the Warrens' collection, according to both movies and the Warrens' personal accounts, this monkey isn't merely possessed by a dark demon. It announces its presence with its symbols and sometimes follows its victims around the house. History claims that the monkey haunted its victims throughout the house until they were ultimately brutally killed in various ways. It's no wonder that the Warrens locked this toy away in their museum and ensured that it had no chance of escaping again. Children's tombstones. In addition to the aforementioned human skulls, the Warrens acquired other artifacts as well. These artifacts also often played a significant role in rituals or dark magic. Apart from various masks and other historical items, some objects stand out. Among them are, for instance, the tombstones of children, which were stolen from cemeteries and became part of rituals. As for some of these tombstones, I don't know which graves they originally belonged to, so they have become a permanent part of the museum's exhibition. For others, the story of how they were found is well known. Once again, it illustrates how horrifying rituals can be when someone needed such an artifact to summon dark spirits from the underworld. The Enchanted Mirror. Due to its English name, the large mirror in the Warrens Museum is often mistaken for an artifact from the history of witchcraft. However, in this case, it has nothing to do with the events of the film series. Instead, the mirror is an object that was used in a ritual to summon evil spirits or establish contact with another world. This is not surprising since in many stories and throughout history, mirrors have been very important objects when it comes to dark rituals and ceremonies. It is said that this artifact was used to summon a demon, but I can't say for certain how true that is. Some museum visitors feel that they may have witnessed the presence of a demon inside the mirror when they looked deep into its glass, but perhaps they were simply becoming aware of the darkness within themselves. The real Annabelle. We've all probably heard the story of the infamous Annabelle doll. Regardless of whether you believe the story or not, you must acknowledge that this story is incredibly terrifying and shows how far some demons are willing to go to torment their victims. However, if you know the movie's story, you might be surprised to learn how differently the real-life story unfolded. The movies certainly embellished the Annabelle story a bit, but the real story remains just as chilling, although perhaps not as cruel as depicted in the films. Nevertheless, the Warrens felt that the spirit trapped within this doll possessed a very dark energy that needed to be kept confined so it would never see the light of day again. Annabelle has been locked away in the museum for many years, and many visitors claim to sense the malevolent presence of the doll when entering the room. This doll is not idle and brings chaos into the lives of many. Similar to the infamous Robert the Doll, the spirit of Annabelle is restless and seeks to harm other innocent victims. If you ever visit the museum yourself, it's best to stay far away from this doll to avoid falling victim to its sinister intentions. These are just a few of the remarkably intriguing objects that can be found in the Warrens Museum of Paranormal Phenomena. That's all for today. This is ZARGO. Take care of yourselves and your loved ones.